Hello and welcome to Pot Summoner, part 41, or 42 I should say. Now before you enter this city of Llanel, Joseph and Fleece will be taken up from your party, and essentially this will be down to Jakar and Rosalind. So before you enter the city, make sure these two guys have your best items equipped. Because apparently Prince Sornian has set up some sort of main character blocking force field, which will keep out all your main characters. There's some very fancy items here, which like I explained before, I still have the dragon scales from that side quest. You can keep them, you don't have to hand them over to complete it, but yeah, I kind of wish I did, because I'm curious to see what the Dread Blade would have been like. But oh well, I guess I let you down a bit. But yeah, see, I'm just looking what other necklaces I got here. I think at this point it's best to emphasise her role as a healer. But anyway, we've been away from the city for a long while and we're now making our way back into it. And you're about to see it's a very different place from what we last saw. And you just saw the tomb of the Neviseum there. It's very important because there are 3 pieces of the parchment we collect in this city now.
Birds and even living men, for want of food, ate the corpses of the dead. Avram Market lay barren and desolate.
And the dead ate the corpses of the living, so I guess it's fair. That's the circle of life, I suppose.
Here perished the Duke of Tarimon, loyal to
It's that character we're constantly told is important, but we never actually see.
The last of the Medivans clawed through the rubble, struggling to feed their children in the shadow of the temple, desecrated and forlorn. The canals of the city turned red with innocent blood, and in the ruins of the palace ruled a new king and queen. Powerful wards had been cast in every corner of the city, watchful eyes waiting for the return of the summoner and Siwa, rightful heir of Mediva's throne. Joseph and Fleece remained outside the city walls, for even the king and queen.
I like the use of Photoshop filters.
Of the summoner's powerful friends, Jakar and Rosalind of Iona.
But yep, that's the deal. We're down to the brawler and the healer here. But fortunately, it's not as bad as you think it would be. Now you can visit this city beforehand, but yeah, the force field will keep out all your characters. And now you can see Llanel is now in the grips of a very harsh winter. And I guess it is symbolic, because winter is when all life dies, and now the dead walk the earth. Now, just a refresher, we are here to get the Sacred Scrolls of the Gharsani from Prince Sornian and Queen Galien, vicious usurpers to the throne. Oh, but don't worry, they'll get what's coming to them soon. We just have to go on a sort of commando mission and sneak our way into the city. Now, the unfortunate thing is we do have to make our way through the sewers, yet again. So this will be now the 3rd time we've been officially required to go through the sewers. Honestly, the developers must really have a big sewer fetish. It's really uncalled for, really. And behold, look, it's Durgan, and he's still waiting here, and he will still wait there until he gets his lucky charm. And the thing is, right, I could actually give it to him right now, but I don't want to, you see, because when you do, you get a major boost in experience points. And essentially I want to hand over that lucky charm with all 4 of my party members, so all 4 of them can benefit from that glorious experience boost. Now fortunately, when this guy eventually gets here, he might be somewhat of a threat. It's the Steel Golem. Again, very big, very powerful, but weak to blunt type attacks and also electric type magic. So make of that what you will. Now at this point I said that Jakar becomes really powerful, and I think that's because the developers were expecting this part of the game. So yeah, at this point, Jakar is meant to be your main guy, the guy who carries the team, as it were. And you know what, he can. Like I said this earlier on, but Jakar really becomes one of the best characters near the end of the game. It's like like I'm looking at Jakar, Rosalind, and Fleece, and we have a magic user, a brawler, and a rogue. And really, those are the only 3 characters we need. It's like, you know, thanks for your help, Joseph, but we don't really need the summoner. Although, honestly, I was thinking we probably don't need the summoner. Because his existence has actually caused nothing but trouble. You know, I had to put on the angst on poor old Joseph, but yeah, although I guess it is implied at the end of this game that Joseph could go on and bring peace to the land or whatever, but no, you've just put demons and an evil emperor upon the land. So yeah, thanks, Joseph. You can see here we have these sort of bone servants, which we last saw in the Cavern of Wo Long, but yeah, they're pretty much at the same level, so they're fairly weak. And again, when it comes to elements, they're all weak against fire, so that's so out of the elements, that's definitely should be your favourite. Oh, yeah, see, I like how this character's weak against electric, but Rosalind is using ice. But damn, Jakar's a beast, man. I know this item here is a spyglass, presumably for a pirate. As far as I can tell, it's not really used for anything specific, but I guess it was meant to be like a fun little item, so I picked it up. So around the corner here we have the typical sewer entrance. No, the sewer's there pretty much it's pretty much the same route you took last time, but yeah, you just there's a few extra enemies here. Not really much to add. It's just that I wish if they gave us the sewers to do again, that I wish they could given us a different route. But nah, it's the same path we're always taking. Now, this enemy here, we saw it already, it's the Greater Gorgon. And it's pretty weak, actually. Now, something I discovered is that you can actually pause the game and move the camera around. Which is kind of cool, I guess. It gives you the opportunity to take a better look at all the enemies. Now, as well as those enemies, we also have the Onyx Golems here. And yeah, when you fight these guys, sometimes they give off precious gems. So, yep, fingers crossed, we might hit the jackpot. Hooray for crossfades. There's not really much I can say at this point. It's just one battle after another. And essentially, I hate to use the phrase dungeon crawler because it's kind of obvious, but that is what it feels like. It feels like just a slog through a dank tunnel. Just getting one enemy after another. But there is a new enemy which appears in this section here, which can provide some challenge for the player. And of course you do want to save regularly, just to be on the safe side. Now coming up next is the Onyx Golems. No, not the Onyx Golems. The Onyx Gargoyles. Now the thing is about these gargoyles is their only weakness is to magic generally. So yeah, you want to keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is the fact that there are they fly around in groups of 2 around the sewers now, but if you're unlucky you can get 4 attacking you at once. And if you do that, if you get outnumbered, you can lose this battle fairly quickly. So just, you know, try not to be ganged up upon. Now, a tactic I'll try out here with my 50 invisibility spells is actually to cast invisibility on myself. Because, again, reading the FAQs, I heard that there's a sort of game mechanic where if you're invisible, they just don't see you do anything at all. That you can even attack them. And I thought I'll try this tactic out. And if I was really sensible, I'd probably just cast invisibility and just sneak past all the enemies. You know, I just thought last time we were in these sewers, it was still overrun by the Batchites. And yeah, you don't see them in the sewers anymore. And they do actually appear in the forests in random encounters, but I guess that's kind of interesting something to think about. The fact that this city is so evil, that it's not only, you know, cast out the people of this city, but also the insect creatures that lived in the sewer. Oh, and speaking of which, you see the giant waterfalls of feces? Yeah, that makes no sense. This city is meant to be nearly deserted. Now, I am trying out the game mechanic here, but the fact that I'm invisible, maybe they won't see me casting spells. In fact, I even try using the wall of fire here. Oh, and the thing is, I know if I can get them caught in a wall of fire, they'll be stuck there. But again, I guess what you're seeing me do here is using tactics. And you'll see in a part coming up, I'll use some particular spells which I never really had thought of before, and actually turn out to be really quite useful. So it just goes to show I had difficulty when I first played this game, but really if I just thought about what I was doing. You can see I've got like 3 guys attacking a Jakar, and I'm really keen to get rid of at least one of them. And you can see even though the tough Jakar is getting his HP chipped away by these stone monsters. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. You know, something I don't use a lot of is the ice spells, and again you'll see why later on, because I really should have, because they really have their use. Now, funny enough, like I said, their only major weakness is magic, but you would think these gargoyles, being made out of stone, would be weak against blunt weapons, but apparently not. And I guess because they're flying, they can't be tripped and backstabbed like other enemies, so I guess I'm kind of limited to how I can attack them. But fortunately we're down to just one of these stone pests. And now you see there Jakosif has like sort of a combo move where he heals his health slightly as he's attacking, and that's really a good combo to learn. See, I've been using tactics rather than the melee moves, but maybe I should have rethought that.